about the planning, functions, okay, process, steps. Regarding the planning, everything we have seen. Coming to the third block, now we are going for the organizing. So after the planning, the next step will be and would be the organizing. So here in the third block, we are going to see about organizing. What are the functions of organizing, how the organizing is going to happen, organization structure, and the span of management. All these three units we are going to see under the block 3. Okay. So before going to start the organizing chapter, you need to understand what do you mean by organizing. So what do you mean by organizing in a general way? We can define term organization as a group of individuals who are interacting with each other and their contribution, their efforts toward the attainment of certain goals, okay, or objectives. And here, in other words, organization may be defined as a cooperative and healthy relationship amongst the groups, which is built up and by them through paper network of communication system with a view to achieve their specific or common goals. Okay, so here to achieve the common goals which are specified, they want to organize the plans which are goal oriented for the individual or else group of individuals point of view. Okay, so the word organization is derived from the organism. It involves the creation of structure with interrelated parts so that the parts are related to one another and in turn related to whole. Okay, so here what we are saying, it involves the creation of structure with interrelated parts so that parts are related to one another and in turn related to whole. So thus there are two essential requirements. So two essential requirements of organization are the parts and their interrelations. Both are very, very important here. So here organization can be defined as a process of determine what must be if a given aim is to be achieved. What must be given aim achieved means dividing the necessary activities into segments small enough to be performed by one person. So here the coordination is very important in the organizing so that the effort which they are using, it should not be wasted and no member of the organizations come in the way of another. Okay, so the different authors are being defining the different authors are defining the organizing as an organization in a different ways. Okay, and here we can say the nature of organizing. So the nature of organizing is a process. The concept of organizing can be considered as a process because a large number of events or activities done through the process of organizing. Okay, and it involves a division of work, determination of activities, group of activities, delegation of departments of individuals towards attainment of predetermined goals. Okay, whole. It is clear that objectives of business firm cannot be obtained by doing single activity. So organizing is said to be a process. How it is going to be said to be a process means the all activities which are determined and the division of labor which has been derived and the grouping of activities, delegation of authority and establishment and proper coordination, balance among various departments, everything are taken into consideration. And then now organizing as a structure of relationship. How the organizing as a structure of relationship means? Organizing refers to a structure of relationship due to involvement of large number of groups. So involvement of large number of groups means, in fact, under the process of organizing, the relationship of departments to departments, group or group to groups and individuals to individuals and are analyzed carefully through the process of communication system. So here, the organizing view to establish proper unity and coordination among them so that everyone can take initiate for the growth and welfare of enterprise. Thus, it is clear that organization can be considered as a structure of relationship. How it has been considered as a structure of relationship means organizing refers to a structure of relationship, which is a large number of groups or large number of individuals formed together to process of an organizing, the planning which has been done, after the planning which we need to go for organize means to amend, to initiate. Okay, so for this what we require, proper unity and coordination among them. If there is no unity and coordination, so that everyone can, there should be, so that everyone can take an initiate for the growth and welfare of enterprise. So it is clear that our organization can be considered as a structure of relationship. Okay, these 2 points are considered for the nature of organizing. Organization as a process and organizing as a structure of relationship. And next thing is the importance of organizing. So here sound organization is a backbone of effective management. Yeah, if it is a textbook, the page number is 81. And if it is some material somebody has mentioned, it could be a 357. Okay. So next the topic is the importance of organizing. So how the organization is giving importance, how are the importance we are getting to organizing. It is helpful to assessment of total work to be performed and its division among individual and departments both to be taken into consideration. As a single individual cannot perform the entire work. Okay, single individual cannot perform entire work. It has to be necessarily divided and distributed among different people. Okay, why? Because they are different people who has been given different division of work. All should be done the work thoroughly for the smooth functioning of the organization and achievement goals of the organization. Yes, it could be a page number 359. About material, I don't know. About textbook, I am saying it is a page number 82, which is a material provided by the university. Okay, and the next is it facilitates the optimum use of physical resources. So physical resources are those buildings, machines, tools, etc. So all these are required for every organization, individual or else group of individuals. So, and the next could be it avoids confusion and misunderstanding among the employees. How? Means when there is a cooperation and coordination, when the organizing is going on, then there will be a avoiding of confusion, misunderstanding. Okay, and here it provides unity or undefined direction and facilities coordination as well as control. As a clear cut relations are established through the authority system, delegation and communication unified through the matching of jobs with men and men with jobs. So thus good organization is helpful in achieving the ends which cannot be achieved as efficiently and effectively through individual efforts. Okay. So the sound organization is the answer to every business problem. So a poor organization could run in a good product while a good organization could make a poor product or process. So here for every mean of organization, here we are taking a good organization could make a poor product success. When there is a good organization, so a poor product also can make a success. So this could be play an important role in every business enterprise so that there is no substitute for a good organization. Okay, so after this we have steps involving in the organizing process. So the steps are those: organizing is a complex activity. So how we are saying the organizing is a complex activity, that there are 6 basic steps in the organizing process. They are assessing the total work and breaking the same into component activities. The first, assessing the total work and breaking the same into component activities, grouping the activities into practical units, and then defining the duties and responsibilities and providing the physical means required for performing different activities. So here assigning the qualified personnel is also most important. Why? Because delegating authority to the people so that necessary relationships can be created, and effective communication and coordinating the activities and efforts of the employees of the organization, All these should be considered while the process of the organization is going under. Okay, so this is a complex activity. So every activity which we are taking into consideration, we should look forward for the betterment, and the total work are breaking the same into component activities, grouping the activities into practical units. So defining the duties and responsibilities and providing the physical means required the performing different activities. Okay, and then division of work. So typically organizing process follows the following steps. The first could be the division of work. So the main function is divided into sub functions and entrusted to the different departmental heads. Okay, so the result is the establishment of departments like purchase, sales, production, accounts, publicity, and public relations. So the departments can be further classified just as production department into planning, designing, operations. So when the work has been divided, there will be different departments to be further classified. So what are those means? Planning, first they'll plan again, and designing, and then operations, then production control, and repairs and maintenance. Okay, all this is going to take in place. So for the division of work is based upon the fact that specialization is a key to effective organization. So the specialization means here the division of work. In the previous topic also I said you, when the person is experienced in any of the work, he should be specialized. Okay, so this should be taken into consideration. And after that, grouping of jobs and departmentation. Grouping of jobs and departmentation means the second step is to group similar related jobs into larger units called departments or divisions. Okay, so grouping process is called departmentation. So the department may be based upon functions such as manufacturing, marketing, financing, etc. So the department may also be based on products such as textiles, cosmetic, stationery. Okay, you want to share the screen? Fine. Okay, is it clear for you? Okay, grouping of jobs and departmentation. The second step is group similar or related jobs in larger units called department or divisions or sections. Grouping process is called departmentation. Okay, so the department may be based on products such as textiles, cosmetics, stationery, whatever the products you are taking into consideration. According to this department, different sections as per requirement, they are going to divide. Okay, fine. And then grouping jobs or departmentation aims at achieving coordination and facilities unit of efforts. So here the departments are linked together on the basis of interdependence. Okay, so the divided task is assigned to specific individual or group of individuals who are supposed to be more qualified and specialized person for the task. So here departmentation is aiming to achieve coordination and facilitates unity of effort. So here when individual or group of individuals who are supposed to be most qualified and specialized persons for the task, everything should be taken into consideration before grouping the jobs or departmentation. Then assigning duties. Assigning duties means the work to be performed to every individual is clearly defined and made known to him. Everyone must know. what he is required to do, or in order to avoid any misunderstanding, duplication, or overlapping in the work. Anything which is going to be done is going to be checked once and twice before assigning the duties. And then granting authority and fixing responsibility. So granting authority and fixing responsibility means assigning of duties to individuals must coincide with appropriate and relevant authority. Every employee must know what is the authority granted to him and for what, and to whom he will be responsible, liable, and accountable. Okay, so assigning of duties to individual also, it will be a great appropriate and with a relevant authority. Every employee must know what is the authority granted to him and one to whom he will be responsible, liable, and accountable. Okay, and then delegation of authority. So delegation of authority means those who are made responsible for specific tasks are given due authority. So both responsibility and authority go hand in hand here. Okay, why? Because when there is a authority and there will be a responsibility also. So reasonable powers are so here delegation of authority, which we are seeing, everything is under the higher people, and when how the authority people how they are giving the same, the responsibility also, they can go hand in hand. So reasonable powers are delegated to heads and supervisory staff to enable them to do their work with ease and efficiency. So here the effective communication is a visual for effectively organizing the activities. There should be a proper arrangement of communication messages from executives to subordinates and vice versa. Proper communication system establish harmonious relationship between employees and enables execution of work in the right manner at the appropriate time and in an atmosphere of perfect mutual adjustment as well as mutual understanding also. So here coordination of activities are will be the common objective. So how the coordination of activities means? The coordination of activities like business activity, like when we are taking any teamwork, okay, they need to coordinate effectively to achieve common goals of the enterprise. Okay, so all these could be the process of organizing. And next we now next we are moving to the principles of organizing. Okay, see, I'm sharing the screen again or regarding the principles of organizing. Yeah. Yes, see, these are the steps of the principles of organizing. Okay, the principles of organizing is stating that, yeah, principle of organizing is stating that is a fundamental truth that provides understanding and guidance to thinking and practice. The principles, according to Massive, are only approximations of generalizations from experience. So these principles are as follows. First point could be principle of unity of objectives. So here all the organizational activities are geared towards organizational objectives. Objectives are framed for each level top. Okay, like middle level, top level, low level, each functional area. So the objective must be clearly understood by all. They should support each other at each level to attain objectives at higher levels. Okay, then the organizational efficiency. So the organizational goals should be achieved efficiently. It means optimum efficient use of resource that is maximum output should be achieved with minimum inputs. So the resources should be spread over activities in various functional areas. Okay, wherever requirement is there for the resources, that should be used effectively, collectively. Okay, and the division of labor. Division of labor means breaking the main task into smaller units. Okay, when some task has been given by the organization, and that should be broken into subtasks and divided to labor. Okay, so that the each part of work, all the parts of work will be joined together and perform it efficiently, thereby increasing the total output. Work should be divided and assigned to workers according to their skills. So this lead to specialization and contributes to organizational output. Okay, so this leads to specialization and contributes to organizational output. And then authority and responsibility. So here, authority and responsibility must go hand in hand. So responsibility means obligation to carry out the assigned task. To carry out the task, authority should be delegated to every person. Okay, every person means conversely given the authority, the task assigned responsibility should be within the scope of authority. Authority without responsibility will result in misissue of authority and responsibility. Okay, how the authority has been given, the same, the subordinates should take the interest and feel it. Yeah, now is it clear, ma? Delegation. Delegation means the total workload is divided into parts. A part is assigned to subordinates and authority is given to efficiently carry out the task. Top managers delegate part of their duties to lower levels and concentrate on important organizational matters. And this speed ups the organizational task, enables no audio. Yes, check once. Is it clear or not? Yes, is it clear, ma? So here the total workload is being divided. Delegating means delegation of authority. If the higher person is not there, the authority will be delegated through the second higher priority. Okay, a part is assigned to subordinates and authority is given to efficiently carry out the task. Okay, so the top managers delegate part of their duties to the lower levels and concentrate on important organizational matters. This speed up the organizational task and enables the organization to grow in the dynamic competitive business environment. Okay, so here scalar chain which we are going to do. Scalar chain is the line of authority running from to top to lower levels. So here the authority flows from top to bottom in this chain and responsibilities flow from bottom to top. So this chain promotes communication among us people at different levels and facilitates decision making. So every person in the chain knows his superior subordinate. Okay. So the chain process means from top level to bottom in this chain. All are being responsible from bottom to top. This chain promotes communication among its people at different levels and facilitates decision making. Every person in the chain knows his superior as well as subordinate. Okay. And then span of control here. Span of control means the number of subordinates that the superior can effectively supervise. Exact number of employees that a manager can supervise cannot be determined. It depends upon competence of managers, nature of work, system of work, capacity of subordinates, etc. So there will be a span of work. How it is going to be distinguished, how it is going to be controlled, the manager can supervise, which can be determined. And if manager can supervise less number of workers, there will be more levels in the organization structure and vice versa. Supervising few subordinates creates tall structures, and supervising large number of workers creates flat structures. Okay, everything comes under the span of control. And then unity of command. Unity of command means one subordinate should have one boss only. People should receive orders from their immediate boss only. This brings discipline and order in the organization. Receiving orders from two or more bosses can create confusion and indiscipline. Okay, so this balance, there must be balance between different principles or organizing. Balance should be maintained between centralization and decentralization, both. Okay, narrow and wide span of control, etc. Everything should be balanced. And then flexibility. So organization should be flexible. Changes in the structure should be made according to changes in the environmental factors. So there should be some changes also in the environmental structure. According to that, flexible, how they can do, according to their flexibility, they are going to do. Then continuity. Organization should adapt to the environmental changes for its long run survival, growth and expansion. And exception, every matter should not be reported to top managers. Only significant deviations be reported, and routine matters should be dealt by middle and lower level managers. Develops lower level manager as they deal with simple and routine problems. Okay, so here simplicity means organization structure should be simple, and that can be understood by everyone. People work efficiently in simple structure as they are clear of various jobs and authority, responsibility associated with those jobs. A simple structure promotes cooperation, coordination, and effective communication in the organization. And then departmentation. It means dividing activities into specialized groups. Okay, specialized groups where each department performs specialized organizational tasks. All activities of similar nature are grouped in one department headed by the departmental manager. So departments can be created on the basis of geographical locations, customers, products, etc. So decentralization, it means delegation of authority to lowest level managers. It increases the decision making authority of lower level managers, and increases organizational efficiency. Okay, it means delegation of authority to all. And then unity of direction. So unity of direction leads to all activities of similar nature are grouped in one unit headed by the departmental manager. He directs the effort of departmental members towards a single objective. The departmental objective is that the direction is going to take place, unity of direction, and then cooperation. So all individuals and departments should cooperate and help the organization achieve its goals. Cooperation leads to teamwork and focus on unified goals. Okay, all this should be taken into consideration for the principles of organizing. Okay, and after this we have another important topic is what is the organization structure. Why my voice is not coming? Wait a moment. Let me check. Is it clear now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So for organizing, we have different, there will be a organizational structure which defines new jobs, okay? New jobs, tasks, and formally divided group and coordinated. The type of organizational structure would depend upon the type of organization itself and its philosophy of operation. So the key elements of proper organizational structure are work specialization, departmentalization, chain of command, span of control, centralization versus decentralization, formalization, everything, all these are going to be taken into consideration. Okay, means there should be a work specialization. Work specialization leads to what? The degree activities which are subdivided into separate jobs. And then departmentalization. So departmentalization means on the basis of jobs which are grouped. And then chain of command, to whom will individuals and group reports. Okay, and then span of control, up to how many individuals can manager efficiently direct the span of control we are going to do. And then centralization with decentralization, the whole sole maker of decisions, he will be the span of control. Then the centralization, decentralization will be the sole maker regarding the decision will be taken by the one person only. Centralization and decentralization also considered within the help of the one person. Then formalization means to what degree will there be rules and regulations to direct employees and managers? There will be formalization. So here, the types of organization structures. So the formal structure is that the authority relationships created by the management are called formal relationship. So here, the authority relationships created by management are called formal relationships. So these formal relationships and informal relationships both are there in the organization structure. So one after the other, now we are going to see. Firstly, what are the formal structure? So what are the formal structure we are going to see? Formal structure is that authority relationship created by management, which are called formal relationships. It refers to structure of well-defined jobs, each having a definite authority and responsibility. The basic characteristics of formal organization are created by top management deliberately, based on specialization or division of labor, and then defines the authority and responsibility of each employee. Defining the authority and responsibility means how the authority has been given the higher level people and the responsibility taken by the employees of the organization, both their interactions among the people. Okay, it is going to done in the formal organization structure, and it specifies the official lines of communication. Official lines of communication means it is showing the delegation of authority and decentralization, focusing on the jobs to be performed and not on the individuals who perform them. Okay, so here informal structure is that the relationship arising as a result of the social interaction among the people are known as informal relationships. Okay, so the relationship arising result of social interaction among the people are known as informal relations. So informal relay organization structure, man is a social animal and cannot live in isolation. When a number of people work together in a formal group, they develop personal and social relationships on the basis of their likes and dislikes. Such relationships will arise spontaneously but not created by the management. So some of the important characteristics of informal structure are unplanned and arises spontaneously. Unplanned means it should be planned accordingly and arises spontaneously. Then reflects human or social relationships among people. So reflecting human and social relationship means it will be showing a different part and different kind of thing. And based on likes, dislikes, language, religion, culture, etc. So basing likes and dislikes means the language, religion, culture, everything is going to done in the organization point of view. Then contains no rules and regulations in writing. When you're writing an informal way, informal structure, informal organization structure, that is will be not at all containing any rules and regulations. While you're comparing to the formal, there you need to follow all the rules and regulations. And then not portrayed on the organization chart of the company. Why? Because it is an informal, so there will be not portrayed. And then membership of informal organization is voluntarily. So voluntarily they are going to accept all this. See, here I am showing the distinction between formal and informal. Kindly wait and check. Yeah, I have shared on the screen regarding that. What is the difference between this formal and informal? You can check once. CS, are you seeing this difference between this organization and informal organization, which I have shared on the screen? You can find these differences basing upon the points of distinction, basing upon the formal and informal. First is how the formation, and then what is the basis, and then nature, and the focus, and then objective, and then rules and regulations, and then a communication system, and then and their existence, and their depiction, and their rationality. All these are the 10 points of distinction between the formal organization and informal. And then now we can see about the line organization. So line organization is the simplest form of organization and is most common among small companies. The authority is embedded in the hierarchical structure and it flows in a direct line from top to managerial hierarchy down to different levels of manager and subordinates, and then further down to operative levels of workers. It clearly identifies authority, responsibility, and accountability at each level. Okay, so here these relationships in the hierarchy connect the position and task of each level with those above and below it. There is a clear unity of command so that the person at each level is reasonably independent. In the line organization, line and staff organization, they are saying that the type of organization, the functional specialists are added to the line, thus give the line the advantage of specialist. This type of organization is most common in our business economy and especially among large enterprises. Staff is basically advisory in nature and usually does not possess and command authority over line managers. So the staff consists of two types. So this line and staff organization, two types are general staff and specialized staff. So general staff are those have authority or responsibility of their own, and specialized staff like who assist only on one line executive, and specialized staff provides expert staff advice. Specialized staff means providing the staff advice, those who are expert. And then advisory capacity, the primary purpose of this group is to render specialized advice and assistance to management when needed. Then service capacity, this group provides a service that it is useful to the organization as a whole and not just to any specific division or function. So these all leads to line and staff organization. Again, which I am sharing on the screen once you see. Yeah, now is it clear? See here, the line and staff organization, board of our directors, there will be the higher authority, then chief executive. This chief executive into two parts, assistant, like personal manager, finance manager, production manager, sales manager, legal advisor, assisting by all these five: personal, finance, production, sales, legal advisor. And then foreman in the three ways, like okay, here foreman 1, 2, 3 means here the production manager, production levels between 3. Okay, here as we are seeing in the chart, foreman 1, foreman 2, and foreman 3. Okay, all this we are seeing in the production levels only. That means each level of the managing, we are going to see all this. Okay, its main disadvantages are like those arising like high cost, which is high cost, is associated with the hiring specialist and tendency of staff personnel to build their own image and worth, that is sometimes at the cost of undermining the authority and responsibility of line executives. Okay, so distinction between line and staff is, it is difficult to distinguish between these two. It is due to the fact that this cannot be made with ease, especially line members to perform staff functions, and staff members seems to have line responsibilities. Okay, so these are and one of the important thing is that difference between the line and staff, which again I'm going to share. You can see here. See, are you seeing this line and staff? See this line and staff, which is concerned with operating activities of our organization, and it has direct ultimate responsibility for the achievement of organization goals and results, staff people, and then there is no additional cost involved additional due to all these differences which are distinctionally for the line and staff, which you are seeing here. Some people argue that the concept of line and staff is absolute and the distinction only when only adds confusion to the existing organization structure. Clear definition of authority like relationships can definitely improve the working of the organization by minimizing the gap and avoiding overlapping of authority and responsibility. Okay, all this, some of the conflicts. So, and next could be the lines perception. Lines perception is that line managers complain about the staff usually on the following lines. If the staffs who advise the course of action do not have a direct responsibility, line is always suspicious about them. The general opinion is that staff takes the credit for success and lays the blame on line when it is failure. Okay, so the lineman feels that staff is misusing their authority and the result is hostility and reluctant to follow the recommendations of staff. Okay, so here uh, span of management in this block 3, the last topic which we are seeing here. In the previous class also, which I said you, span of control is made up of two words, that is span and control. Span in terms of management and administration. Span means maximum extent or number of people that can be reached by, okay? And control means the ability to instruct, check, adjust, or manipulate something as per one's preferred requirement, choice, or expectation. However, in terms of management and administration refers to an authoritative power to direct, order, or restrain. Okay. So span of control is a management and administration refers to the total number of people. Here, subordinates or employees working under the who manager or administration can effectively control and supervise everything. Okay, span means the management and administration, which means extent of number of people can be formed, reached by, and control means ability to instruct, check, adjust, or manipulate something as per one's preferred requirement. Okay, and then the factors influencing span of control. Factors influencing span of control means when this principle is advocated by the classicalists, it may be observed that span of management is the most violated principle. There are chiefly three reasons for this violation. Subordinates may feel that by reporting directly to the next higher level, it enhances their status in the eyes of their organizational members. Okay, and regarding this span of control, we have how to utilize this span of management, which we are going to call as an optimum utilization of span of management. Means the logic of span runs somewhere at some number. The inefficiencies from lack of people and supervision will more than offset the cost of intermediate expenses executives. However, instead of generalizing the wide and narrow span for different situations, an attempt should be made to achieve an optimum span. So this can be achieved by striking a balance between the two in a view of the overall best result required in a given situation. So this is due to the fact that both wide and narrow spans have their own advantages. Okay, so the important steps also to ascertain an optimum span are effective planning. There should be effective planning, and then delegation, and then encouragement to managers. Okay, then frequent meetings and discussions, and then effective communication. Okay, all these 5 points should be taken into consideration for the optimum span, which means I said wherever they require, when there is a lack of control and supervision, will more than offset the cost of intermediate executives. So, however, instead of generalizing the wide or narrow spans for different situations, an attempt should be made to achieve an optimum span. So, this can be achieved by striking a balance between the two, okay, in a view of the overall best results required in a given situation. So this is due to the fact that both wide and narrow spans would have their own advantages. Okay, so these are the important points which comes under the optimum span of management, which I have shared. All the topics today are the block 3 important, which are going to be considered for the exam point of view. Okay, in the tomorrow class, we'll see about the block 4, and day after tomorrow, we'll see about the block 5. So all the topics which I'm sharing, I'm discussing with you, those are the important for a exam point of view. Okay, is it clear for everybody?
Yes, ma'am.
Why very less strength today? Day to day, the strength is decreasing as they became very experts, I think so. Okay, in the meanwhile, tomorrow we'll start with the block 3, block 4. Today we have done with the block 3. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Hello.
Bye, madam.